Hey guys, it is makeup time today, Monday morning, let's do it. So I'm starting off with clean skin. I already have my moisturizer on, but I'm gonna put a little bit of this Ducray cream. It is the Acne Control Cream. This gives such a nice mattifying effect, and I find that it works really well under makeup. So I'm just grabbing a pea-sized amount and I'm just gonna smooth that over my skin. The only thing with this moisturizer is that it does have a slightly stinging effect. So I would be very careful if you do have any areas of your skin with like an open blemish. I think I have one just over here and I felt a little bit of a sting. Let's do a bit of foundation. 'Tis the season for my Pixie H2o Skin Tint. I love this stuff. I actually really enjoyed using this little tiny Real Techniques brush. It is their setting brush. So funny, it's meant for setting powder, but I'm actually using it just to gently fluff out this foundation. This H2o Skin Tint gives just the most fresh looking pop of moisturizing coverage to my face. It's really hard to find lightweight products that do something and that stick around. Like this actually ends up looking really good throughout the day, whereas a lot of lightweight tinted moisturizers, even stuff like I find Laura Mercier and everything, they just don't last. They start to get a little bit caked up or, you know, kind of flaky looking, but this sets down to a gorgeous budge proof finish and really gives the most flawless look to the skin without feeling heavy at all. It is extremely lightweight, as you can see, blends out like a dream and gives a very cooling sensation to the skin. I do have some problem areas just around kind of the upper cheek area. This covers it almost perfectly. I'll just go in with maybe a little bit of concealer wherever I need after. I need some lip balm. I'm using my favorite balm, the Cold Cream Lip Balm from Aven. It's beautiful and it's great for the whole family. Comes in this great packaging. Love. Now I'm actually gonna go on to my eyes. So I'm using a bit of this really fun Quo Beauty Dark Matter, and it is liquid eyeshadow. Just doing like a line of this liquid eyeshadow as like a smoky eyeshadow liner kind of thing. I love cooling products. This just makes my eye area feel so refreshed. And it's nice for the morning time to use something that is very light and cooling. It does not have to be perfect. It lasts pretty well once it sets. That was something that really surprised me. Once it dries, that's why I'm not trying not to open my eyes too much. Once it dries down, it actually sets really well. So as I'm waiting for that, I'm just gonna use a bit of this color corrector under my eyes. It's from the Body Shop. I genuinely don't know if they make it anymore, but look at this shade. It is a true peach. I find it's a nice brightening peach. So I'm just gonna use my ring finger to blend this out. This is a nice product to actually give a little bit of coverage and just smoothness on the lids. For a bit of concealer under the eyes, I'm gonna use my Veil Cosmetics. I think this is number 1N. And I'm going to put that again just under the eyes and then up onto the corners. I'm also just gonna dab this onto a few more visible blemishes. My trick with concealer is that I'll just dab it onto the spots and then let it dry. And that process of letting it dry helps increase the coverage. I'm gonna blend out around these spots. Blush is an old favorite. This is Milani Luminoso, so classic. I'm just using a Royal and Langnickel brush, blending that lightly onto the cheeks. Any extra always goes on my eyelid. It gives the prettiest flush. And then other cheek, feathering that onto the apples and then up to kind of that temple area. Then again, any extra we're just using to set the eyelid. And did you notice how beautifully that powder blush blended over the H2o Skin Tint with no powder in between? It is fantastic. I find it never like cakes up and hangs on to powders. It is so easy to use. For brows, I'm using my Benefit Goof Proof Brow Pencil. This gives really intense color payoff. So if you're looking for maybe something for like larger eyebrows, this is a good option. I like to just kind of line out the bottom of my brow and then flick upwards with this. I'm going to use the spoolie to kind of blend into place and brush the hairs up. I always try to leave the front of my brow not too intense. Final step are lashes. So I'm using my favorite Dior Show Primer. I start actually by pulling the color to the back side of my upper lashes and then brushing upward. Again, brushing down, up. I always try to just make sure that I see a little bit of that white primer on the lashes, but you really don't need to overload them. I'm trying out a special mascara today. This is the CoverGirl Exhibitionist Stretch and Strengthen Mascara. It has a lash strengthening formula that protects against breakage. It has biotin, peptides, and provitamin B5. So this is like a little multivitamin for your lashes. Let's open it. The effects of this mascara will obviously still get to my lashes even with a bit of primer on, but I always use the primer with mascara, so I will still be able to see how this works. If anything, my primer is usually for longevity and for flaking. So here is the wand. There is enough space in between, I think, to get a good grip on my lashes, but time will tell. So I'm going to apply similar to the primer. Wow, it has like really nice grip on the lashes. The brush itself is a bit pokey, but that just means that it does kind of grip and get into the lashes without just gliding right across. So there's definitely going to be that lengthening aspect there. Wiggling through. This brush shape makes it pretty easy to get into the inner corner, which is great. It gives me a pretty good fanned out look. I'm just gonna do the lower lashes. It works great for the lower and definitely no clumping here. Mascaras like the Bite Beauty Upswing definitely has more of that clumpy, voluminous look, which is good because it gives you like serious volume and drama with like one swipe. With other mascaras, you would have to give a lot of coats to get the same volume as something like Upswing. This one is a happy medium in my opinion. I have the shade Blackest Black and it's very pigmented, does give length and definition while adding a bit of volume. Pretty good. I think it's interesting that it's saying it's going to be nourishing when I do find the formula to feel pretty dry once it sets down. So this is my 5-minute makeup look, you guys. I don't typically wear a lot on my lips during the day. I do think the lashes are really nice, pretty dramatic. The effect is actually a bit more drying than I thought. I thought it was going to have more of that like super soft, luscious look. The curl is not intense, but my lashes do stand out a lot more than they would have otherwise. Be sure to like and follow along, and I'll see you later. Mwah!